This is Deb with Real Wanderer, and this is the Expat series, my personal journey. And right now I'm in search of a country. So as I'm searching for a possible country to live in, you begin to realize just how big this world is and how many options there are for places with amazing cultures and amazing people. What I started doing a number of years back, because I anticipated that this was what I'd be doing in my retirement, was beginning to travel to different locations to get a sense of how they felt and to see what they were like, and to get a sense of the cost of living in those areas. So far, I have gone to Santiago and loved Santiago, Chile. I stayed in, and I can't remember the part of town that I stayed in. I can remember it visually. I can't remember the name of the area. And it was completely filled with beautiful, wonderful wall mural street art. And it was right next to the river, across from the big park. It was a great location, and I think if I chose Santiago, I would probably want to be in that area. And having lived in the Peruvian Amazon, I had a lot of opportunity to go back and forth to Lima, Peru. So Lima certainly is another option for me. It's a wonderful country, and the people are really, really very special as well. I've also checked out Cuenca, Ecuador. What a great city. What a beautiful city. The culture's amazing, and there's just so much to do there besides being surrounded by a beautiful environment. I also lived in Guatemala for a while, and I lived in Guatemala City. And on the weekends, I would head off to Antigua, which is a little town not too far away, and also the Lake Atitlan area by the lake and the volcanoes. I loved Antigua. There was something really special about that town. And then within Mexico, I've been to a number of different places. Puerto Vallarta, loved, beautiful, Malacon, the Old Town area. So I really like that, and the weather is incredible. So Puerto Vallarta, and then a little bit up north from that is a little town called Sayulita, and that was pretty special. That's kind of a little bohemian town with surfers and lots of galleries and restaurants, but it's a small little town. And so that's something that I need to take into consideration as well. And in the very near future, I'm heading down to Lake Chapala to check out Lakeside. And I'm really curious to get a feel for that area and see which of those towns might be the best fit for me. From my understanding, they've got great weather there, and it's very affordable as well. And then before I make my ultimate expat decision, I'm going to take a trip to Greece and look at the Greek islands, Mykonos and Santorini and some of the others, and see how those feel for me as well, which would be a very different experience for me from the more Latin countries that I seem to be drawn to. And then finally, I'm planning a trip down the road to Thailand to get a sense of the Southeast Asia culture there. Going to a Latin culture, I have the basic language in place that I'm able to communicate, albeit not always perfectly. But so there's more of an ease for me to slide into a Latin culture than there would be into a culture in Southeast Asia. So I need to think about that. And once I narrow it down to 2 or 3 locations, then I can begin a more informed decision by looking at cost of living and looking at visa requirements and see how that's going to work as well. So my question to you is, have you decided on a country that you want to retire in? And if so, how did you go about making that decision?